Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 0.73% to 29,491. Ethereum down 5.99% to 1834. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. What we've done together is just run through some of the crypto market's key sectors. This keeps you informed on what cryptos are moving in what sectors. This is very valuable information to refer back to in the future. It will also help give you a feeling of what sectors are moving and how, and the crypto market overall. I've just sort of raced through these sectors, but you can always pause the video. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the masterclass, our NFT collection, the tax software I use, and you can get 20% off by using that link. And you can also directly message me on Twitter at any time. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. There's always hope, and the sun will come out again. When I talk about the sun will come out again, what I'm talking about is sometimes we go in life and we're doing really, really well, and all of a sudden we have a setback. And that setback can be many, many different things: dealing with sickness, loss of a loved one, separation from family, relationship breaks down, sadness, conflict, all sorts of things. But that is actually a pullback to set you up for the next run in life. When we talk about a positive excellence life trend, we don't get stuck in the pullback. We just understand it's a promotion. It's setting us up for better and better things. And you can easily apply it to trading as well. Sometimes when everything is going fantastically, you feel wonderful, but you can have a string of bad trades and feel like you don't know what you're doing. That's not you. That's just the market. The market always is changing character. That's why we've got to keep an eye on it. It's a bit of an animal. But if you think about it, you're just getting set up for the next rally. You have these life pullbacks and life rallies, and you always gain strength. What I seek to share each day is the way to minimize these life pullbacks, the duration of them, and maximize the life rallies. And the way that we do that is by increasing our strength, spreading kindness, empathy and care, contribution and sharing, gaining new ways of thinking, and gaining new skills. One powerful thing to keep in mind is always be kind to yourself and be kind to others when you're going through these pullbacks. It's really, really important. That will set you up for the next life rally. Just as price moves in waves, life moves in waves as well, but you're always gaining strength over time. I wanted to thank everybody for their comments in yesterday's video, our 1 year anniversary, and many, many thanks to the ambassadors who got together and left a video note. How beautiful was that? It's just amazing. And I wanted to read something to you from Andreas. Andreas said, "Life pullbacks can be very brutal when we are in it. And I'm sorry to anyone who is currently in one. This community is the fruit of Ken's life pullback." And it's actually correct. Very, very insightful, Andreas. There were over 300 comments, so I'd just like to read you just a little bit of that. And what our focus is, our mission is about spreading more real wealth, positive excellence, and happiness globally through crypto. And Patrick summarized things so very, very well. Patrick said, "Seeing you and Kate and all the ambassadors was so awesome. And everyone else, congratulations to you because you're part of something amazing." There is just no community in the crypto space like this one. Let's run the numbers, number one, in our heart. Thank you, Patrick. And to Dear Flamingo, this is the best online community, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this community. So many people here leave comments that are so very helpful and inspiring. And to Zen Anna, thank you, Ken, for all your time, for all the knowledge, for changing my perspective and for changing my life. How beautiful. This is the most amazing community you've created, and I truly feel like I belong in a wonderful family. And you do. And everybody that's watching, who is watching this, you do belong in this family as well. And to PH, who said, to me it seems almost impossible to respond to everybody the way you do. And I do that, PH, because I just love you all, and I just look forward every day to responding to your comments. Sometimes I definitely run out of time, but I always do my very, very best. I think it's also kind of nice to know that when I respond, when you see my response, it is from me. Nobody responds on my behalf. And Crypto All-Star Trading said, happy anniversary to the most amazing and profound crypto channel and community. There is literally nothing else like it out there. Thank you, my friend. And to Gabriel, who said, we came here looking to make money, but found so much more. That's just beautiful, Gabriel. And Gabriel said, I love the KS squared picture. What a beautiful couple. A similar dynamic to me and my wife. She is small and Japanese, and I am tall. And guess what? We met in Australia, a country very dear to my heart. That's so beautiful. Just for the people that wanted to know, I'm around 2 meters tall. And to Purpuratum, who said, 1 full year of generosity, commitment, kindness, and love. Each video is technical, as well as a mental enrichment, and is bursting with positive energy and excellence. What we have learned over the past year is reflected in this beautiful community and all of their interesting, funny, and profound comments on YouTube and inside the masterclass. That's very beautiful. Thank you, my friend. And special thanks also to Kate, who supports you and gives you the space you need to put all of us on the right path and find real wealth. Thanks so much. That's a really lovely comment. And I really love this. You threw a single boomerang and thousands came back. And Purpuratum calls the CTKS ambassadors Kenbassadors. Wow. And Purpuratum was the original inventor of BKTO, be kind to others. What a beautiful person. And a lot of people found it really helpful to know my backstory, if you like, why I do what I do 7 days a week without a break for pretty much a whole year now. And US Navy Mustang said, I'm a recent subscriber who, until watching this video, I had no idea of your purpose or reason you do what you do. And I thought it was important to pop that video in to explain to people why I do what I do and why I share at the level that I do. And thank you very much to Vicente. You are preparing us to manage our future material wealth by giving it only the importance it deserves. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, my friend. Lionel said something really beautiful. Thank you, Ken. I can say that very few people have made a difference in my life, and you have managed to change my perspectives. Very, very beautiful. And thank you. Congratulations to you and Kate. Kate and I just recently got married. And to Daniel, the world thanks you for increasing the level of its love. I think it's so important. There's so much nastiness out there, people attacking other people, where if they just increase the level of understanding and realize that all people are fundamentally good, there'd be so much less conflict in the world. I love what Anne said. Thank you for guiding our growth. I love running the numbers, and on Sundays, me and my brother running them 10 kilometers plus too, while talking about all the gems we could find in your last videos. How awesome. I just love how community gets together and families become closer. It's just a beautiful thing to see. And to Joss, your videos have helped a lot to stay positive during the live pullbacks I experienced a few months ago. Well done, Joss. And I just put that information up the front for you as well. We should all know that life pullbacks always lead to life rallies unless we get stuck. And it's important not to get stuck. The way that you just don't get stuck is to you think about the past and just say, what is past is past. I'm going to make the very, very best out of this present moment. Crypto Badger said a really beautiful thing. Trade the chart, not your heart. And Alex pointed it out. And I think that's such a fantastic quote. Thank you, Crypto Badger. You're a legend. There are so many beautiful, beautiful statements and quotes in here. I wish I could read them all, but I'll just finish on Sanjeev's. I read all the comments in the masterclass and most of them on YouTube as well. Fantastic. The ambassadors are essential as they provide a unique perspective. Your contributions are appreciated. The ambassadors are just such wonderful people. Just a bunch of beautiful people with big hearts. Thank you for putting yourselves out there. Just gorgeous. Actually, just one more from Luke. He said, this course, the masterclass, the channel and the people inside the masterclass will change people's lives exponentially. You come out on the other side a different person and with a much, much larger family. That's so beautiful, Luke. I firmly believe that together we are kinder and we are stronger. A lot of people view kindness as weakness. It's not weakness at all. You require much, much more strength to be kind. To be mean requires no strength at all. It's just a base primary instinct, a base emotion. And typically it's nothing more than a bad habit. When we come from a position of positive excellence, what does this actually mean? It means that we bring our best selves into the picture each day. And that's what we're all about, just improving just a little bit each day, just being a bit more kind each day, being a bit more loving each day, finding a little bit more gratitude and happiness each day, trying to find a little bit more inner peace and outer peace, steering away from conflict. That doesn't mean you avoid it. It just means you contextualize it. Is it important? And if it's not important, just ignore it. Your time is really precious and you have a job to do here in this world. Your uniqueness defines what your actual purpose is. Just embrace your uniqueness and don't get sidetracked by other people's agendas, especially when those agendas are negative. We could dive straight into an analysis of Bitcoin or the markets, but I think it's really important to contextualize what we're doing. First thing that we do is to mark up our charts with an exponentially creative, if you like, way of applying candlestick pattern analysis called the CTKS method. It's specifically for crypto. Next, we look at outside trends, collecting probabilities like a really good detective. We come back into the crypto market, seeking to find the market's focus, understanding that opportunities reset daily, sharp angles reflect and they reverse, and there's a lot of BORSOGing we can do, but we don't get into that before we have a real wealth and positive excellence outlook on life. Why is that? Because without real wealth, we're going to get caught up in self-doubt and self-sabotage. I can generally talk to people and see the levels of doubt and sabotage in their talking. And it's really important to focus on mastering emotional control. If you believe you can do it, you can do it. If you believe you can't do it, you can't do it. And the mind will make it so. So how we approach everything that we do in life, not just trading, but everything comes down to how you think. That's why we must get off the emotional roller coaster that is all about retail thinking and get into smart money thinking, which is unemotional. And we embrace volatility. We don't run from it. We love it. And then you get into the trigger section where you buy and you sell. And there's lots and lots of different ways to do that. A lot of people think that we're in recession. According to the business cycle, we are not in recession. Not in recession in Canada, not in recession in the US. China is just emerging from contraction, just emerging from recession. When it enters early stage recovery, that's going to be fantastic for the world. What about India? It's still mid-stage. It's nowhere near recession. Recession is this area. What about South Korea? Is it in recession? No, it's not. What about Japan? Is it in recession? No, it's not. What about Mexico? No, it's not. What about Brazil? Is that in recession? Nope. What about the UK? Is that in recession? No, it isn't. What about Germany? Recession? No. What about Italy? No as well. What about France? Nope. What about Australia? No again. And what about Spain? Negative, Captain. If we look at this, why are we looking at this? What does it matter? If, for example, the US, which is the largest economy in the world, if it slips into recession, it slips into contraction, it will pull all the other markets down with it. But what are we seeing globally? Globally, we see that we're in mid-stage, we're in expansion. This is really good. We're nowhere near recession. A lot of people talk about recession all the time. We're in a business cycle. We always fluctuate from boom to bust. That's how we do things. But the concept, we're not in bust now. And it's important you don't psych yourself out of the market because people are talking about contraction or recession a long way away. The economic system is actually built on an engine of earnings inside the stock market, and we've seen 69% of companies, or 1,501, actually beat their earnings estimate. 689 missed their earnings estimate. This is really good. This is showing there's a lot of positive momentum in the economic system, and that's confirmed by what we saw just in the last thing. Smart money is very, very different from retail. When we look at smart money confidence, what do we see? It's actually increasing. Retail sentiment is absolutely falling off a cliff right now, but smart money thinking is going in the opposite direction. What is the difference between smart money thinking and retail thinking? These are retail investors and traders, and we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So it's good to know how to trade. What do we see here? As price goes up and up, everybody's getting thrilled. Retail is doing a yippee dance. And then what happens? The price comes down. What does retail do? It runs. Now, what is smart money doing? It's actually accumulating. When the dance floor is empty, believe me, the real professional dancers come in next, so to speak. And when the trading floor is empty, the professionals come in. And what do we see? Why is the price going up? Everybody has left. How can the price be going up? Because it's not retail driven, it's smart money driven. And we can see as the price increases, it draws people back into the market. They feel certain that it's going to keep on going. And they start to buy. And what happens again? Pang. And they all run. I don't want you to run. I want you to be like smart money. And it means that you have to have emotional mastery and emotional control and understand how to get on the right side of the percentage. Masterclass students, you'll get this live chart in TM6. So what are we actually looking at here? We're looking at the gravity of the stock market. We can see that fear is coming out of the market. What does that mean? It means that price is increasing, and you can see the Nasdaq 100 rallied really strongly. I believe we're going to at least test this resistance line. Let's see how it plays out. We can see bond prices were coming down, had a bit of a bounce. Now it's a little bit unsure where they're going to next, but I would hope they retrace somewhat. And the reason for that is the bond prices and bond yields are completely out of whack with the market, so they need to normalize. So I would like to see that. And the market doesn't care what we would like. The market just does what it wants to do. But it's important to understand this kind of normalization is important, and it will happen at some stage. We can see that gold rallied. It found a support level, rallied up, hit a resistance level, and got pushed down, and it's now trying to come back to this resistance level around 1867. What have we seen with the US dollar currency index, the DXY or the DXY? we can see that it's sold off. It came down into this red area. It's not quite into the area which would normalize the DXY, but it's kind of getting there. And the thing with stock market action and Forex as well, it moves so incredibly slowly. It's like watching grass grow. And that doesn't mean there's not good money in the stock market and Forex. It just means for me personally, I have no money in the stock market or Forex. It's all in crypto. Let's have a look at oil. And it's all in crypto because I believe in crypto. Let's have a look at oil. Oil is making its way up. We saw recently that it crossed above multiple resistance levels, came back and retested, and we know price is always moving in a wave. This could put inflationary pressure, so that we need to look at inflation. And what can we see from the put-call ratio? We can see people are starting to get less and less bearish on the actual market. And not surprising, because smart money actually knows how the markets move because they move it. Looking into the main markets, and what you can see, this red area is the inverse VIX. When we have big spikes in the VIX, we get big drops in the inverse VIX. They typically accompany negative price momentum, and we can see this Fed recession indicator in here. I'm actually overlaying this because I want to see when the Fed actually says that we're in a recession. The Fed is the Federal Reserve. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. We can see Bitcoin coming up, just retracing, following in alignment with the Nasdaq, the S&P 500 and the Dow. One thing really interesting, if you look at Japan's stock market, it's about to rally. And why do I think that? Because it's just starting to edge over resistance. It's actually done a retrace. So that could be very, very interesting. Australia's market looks quite good as well. The Russell 2000 just following the Dow, the S&P and Nasdaq. Look at Germany's market starting to form a base for a potential rally. Russia's market, of course, has been under severe duress. And we look at the UK market. The UK is also looking pretty good. These European markets and Asian markets look to be turning around, as does China. And we know China's coming out of recession. This doesn't surprise us. And for example, if I hadn't taken you through the business cycle of what China was doing in various countries, this wouldn't really make that much sense. But hopefully it makes more sense now. The Federal Reserve is talking about tightening its balance sheet. And what have we seen? Actually, its balance sheet has gone up. Whereas M1 and M2, the money circulating within the economy, has actually decreased, but it's now starting to edge up as well. We can see the 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rate, this red line and that aqua line there, they're coming down at the moment, but they've just done a little bit of a bounce. And we can see Bitcoin just basing at the moment and the Nasdaq starting to move up. Masterclass students, you'll get this live chart in TM4. What are we seeing with gold and silver, palladium, copper and platinum? We can see they're basically all moving up. They've sold off and gold is bouncing. Palladium, this light blue line here, is also bouncing. Silver is bouncing more percentage terms than gold at the moment. Platinum's sort of going a little bit up and down, and we can see the inverse DXY, which tends to be a good indicator of where metal prices could go. There's a lot more to it, but that's a really good start. It's actually kicking up because the DXY is coming down, as we saw in that 8 diagram. That's why, without just going step by step through things, you won't understand what's actually happening. You need a lot of context. We've had a bit of a look at outside trends, and of course in the masterclass we do much more than this, but it gives you a kind of an idea as to what is happening. Overall, the world is looking pretty good, and of course the business cycle will take us into recession at some stage, but we're still a way away from that globally, and the indices are telling us that story. Now we'll look into the crypto market, understanding Rule 45. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We can see that there's still extreme fear in the crypto market. A reading of 12 is extreme fear. But what's happening with open interest? open interest is still going up, just wobbling around a little bit, but we've seen a lot of liquidations, a lot of long liquidations occurred, and there was quite a bit of volume on the buy and the sell side. And what we saw in the past trading session, when the US session opened, we had a big spike down, and that terrified a lot of people, but it came into a very strong support line, and it bounced like a super ball. It was absolutely a wonderful opportunity to buy. Let's have a look how the Nasdaq 100 and Bitcoin is tracking. The Nasdaq 100 is in white. Bitcoin is just the normal chart. And when we look at it, let's zoom in here together. What we can actually see, as the Nasdaq opened, it dipped down and Bitcoin dipped. But as soon as the futures started going back up, Bitcoin also went back up. We can see a bit of a difference here. For example, if we look at the Nasdaq, it came up quite a lot, and Bitcoin not so much. Why is that? It was actually under resistance, which is this line here. So you can see this was a resistance line, and Bitcoin was kind of trapped underneath it. But where did it get caught? Where was the support? It was actually this line here. So you see it came down to support, and it said, oh, I've got a support line, I better bounce from there. And that's kind of what support does. Support is like a floor. Resistance is like the ceiling. So of course, when it breaks through the ceiling becomes the floor. And when it goes the other way, the floor becomes the ceiling. This is kind of just like fences when we had Percy. We should bring Percy back. What else do we see? Bitcoin is still hovering between 1 and A. Come on, Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts. And masterclass students, you'll get this live chart in TG34. We can see the longs were exponentially ramping up, and they've gone pretty flat. The shorts were ramping up, and they retraced and been going a little bit flat, but they got a little bit of excitement overnight, well, in the past trading session, where they spiked up, but they've come down. Let's check out liquidations. And what would we expect when we look at liquidations? We can see the shorts have been taken out of the market. They've probably been liquidating the longs. Let's check it out. And another thing that you might like to be aware of, the institutions, smart money, they hunt stops. They hunt the leverage traders, because a lot of leverage trading that goes on in the crypto market is very amateur leverage trading. It's just like people get in and they discover some link and they go all in and more, and the smart money just comes in and liquidates those people. The way to avoid this is just to buy at spot. Turning to liquidations, we can see in the past 24 hours, 468.6 million across 120,863 positions. And in the past 24 hours, across total liquidations, across all exchanges, there was about 80% long liquidations. So that confirms what we've been thinking. About 12 hours, 68%. So more and more shorts are getting liquidated. Across the past 4 hours, about 73%. And across the past hour, about 54%. And what you know, and what we talk about all the time, is that it's just not one side that gets liquidated. The shorts and the longs are always getting hit. I like to think of them as like yin and yang. One cools things and one heats things up. The longs heat things up and the shorts cool things down. They exist in a very cooperative relationship, but it sure doesn't feel that way if you're leverage trading. And when we look at Bitcoin futures open interest, we can see we've had a bit of an upsurge. And if we actually zoom into this, it's looking quite good. We're actually seeing that when it gets over resistance, and it's pretty much there right now, we could see a big surge in open interest. This could be really, really interesting. Why is that interesting, you say, Ken? Why is that interesting? Because if you look at Bitcoin's price, which is this gold line, versus futures open interest, which is this green shaded area, what we see is typically as open interest comes up, Bitcoin will come up. As it goes down, Bitcoin will go down. We've seen a bit of a basing action here. It's just basically the institutions are accumulating. Smart money is accumulating down here. Let's check out the top 100 cryptos in the past 7 days. We can see CRV is up 13.61%, Tron about 12.5%, Aave 11.2%, IoTex 10.10%, Phantom 9.7%, nearly, XTZ 7.92%, LRC 6.61%, Ethereum Classic 6.55%, SAND 6.12%, and so forth. And you can notice this one down the bottom. What is this one? It's actually GMT. GMT has had a bit of a slide recently. Looking at DeFi, total value locked 108.39 billion, down 3.4% from yesterday. And we can see the total value locked on all chains. Ethereum is taking out the lion's share, 64.06% or 69.43 billion. And when we look at the top particular chains, Ethereum 69.4, BNB 8.88, Tron 5.77 billion, AVAX 4.19 billion, Solana 4.05 billion. It just gives you an understanding about what's going on. Let's have a look at how Bitcoin's gravity is playing out inside the crypto market. What we can see is this is Bitcoin's price action, and I've overlaid it on Ethereum's chart as the blue line, or on XRP as well, all of these charts. And what do we actually see? We see that as Bitcoin comes down, it drags the entire crypto market down with it. This is why I say no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. What's another thing I say? When people say, what happened to my beloved alt? I say, Bitcoin happened to your alt. That gives a really good perspective, because a lot of people go and hunt for news stories. It's just like, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing this. Bitcoin does this all the time. But it also, when Bitcoin recovers, it pulls all the alts up with it. Now let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, we can see, is much, much weaker than Bitcoin. We can see it just with our eye. We can see this divergence in Bitcoin's price action and Ethereum's action. But it's going under gravity. What does that mean? A snap back at some stage. What about Binance Coin? We can see Binance Coin doing really, really well. Why is this doing well? What does this actually mean? If we look at Bitcoin's relative percentage movements across and compared to Binance Coin's movements, we know Binance Coin, BNB, is an exchange token. It's used for discounts on trading fees. This means more and more people, more and more money is flowing into the crypto market, and it's getting a home in BNB. And this is what we do as crypto technical analysts. We try and scientifically understand how investor attention is actually moving into the market. And you can see it right here. BNB is a textbook example of it. What about XRP? It's just following Bitcoin's gravity. What about ADA? Following Bitcoin's gravity, almost to a T. What about Solana? Solana sold off wildly when the US went into pre-market. And what have we seen? It's kind of going the same way as Ethereum. It's showing a degree of weakness. And we're not seeing that same degree of weakness in Binance Coin. What about Doge? Doge is selling down with Bitcoin's gravity. But what do we notice here? We had a bit of a spike up. Doge is really, really spiky. It can very much go up in terms of spiking up. Just be aware of that. And what do we see in DOT? DOT is following Bitcoin's gravity, looking pretty much like it's got a negative skew on it at the moment. And what do I mean by that? When you come back here and compare Binance's structure, Bitcoin structure, what you see is that there was a sharp sell down, but it regained very, very quickly. What does that mean? It means that there are lots and lots of buyers all throughout this zone, just scooping it up. Everybody's terrified of crypto at the moment, but smart money is not terrified. It's getting on the right side of the percentage. If you're selling, just ask who is buying. And that's rule 359, be on the right side of the percentage. You can actually be on the wrong side of the trade, but on the right side of the percentage and still make money. It's always interesting to check Bitcoin open interest in the options. And what we can see, max pain price for options expiring at the end of September. Max pain, the price at which the majority of options expire worthless, is 40,000. But we've seen very, very bullish bets, and these are bets up to 400,000 and bearish bets down to 10,000. But 20,000 is the majority. And then if we look at the bullish bets, the calls, we can see between 70 to 100,000 is a lot of interest. We might be reaching up towards 100,000 Bitcoin in September. But we know in the markets, it's not about certainty, it's about probability and stacking probabilities. Therefore, we must always make our in advance probabilistic choices. What will we do if price goes for us, against us, or nowhere? Professionals always have answers to these three questions, and they always follow through on the decisions that they make. Let's look at the metaverse plays, and when we see sand, it's in excess of Bitcoin's gravity, and so is Axie, Decentraland Mana, showing a lot of strength relative to Bitcoin's gravitational pull. And what about Gala, showing strength as well? Engine Coin showing strength, Ape showing strength, but a little bit of weakness in the last session, just pulling it down. SLP is just following Bitcoin's gravity. Not stronger, not weaker, just pretty much straight on. And Chili's is also showing more strength. The question is, what does this actually mean? When you see the actual price action above normalized Bitcoin price movement, it means investor attention is flowing into this particular crypto. Let's have a look at some community favorites. We can see near under gravitational duress, it's performing more weakly than Bitcoin. What about Matic? Pretty much spot on Bitcoin's gravity, as is Icon, ICX. What about VRA, Veracity? Just in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Rose is a little bit under Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. I pointed out GMT. Look at how GMT has just basically collapsed down. You can see that spike there and that spike there. And if you wanted to compare it with, say, for example, Matic, the spike there, Matic would have had to come back down to this spike and be trading at about the 51 cent level or even the 50 cent level. And you can see the weakness in GMT here. But what do we know also? And it depends, please do your own research. But sharp angles, what do they do? Please let me know in the comments. And when looking at IOTA, what happened to IOTA? Bitcoin happened to IOTA. IOTA is just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. IOTEX is showing some strength here at the moment, but it's still moving in alignment. You can see as Bitcoin comes down, IOTEX comes down. As it goes up, it goes up. This is really important to understand. Turning to some more community favorites, we can see Theta is under gravitational duress, as is T-Fuel. SHIB is under duress as well. And we can see EGLD has done a spike down, much like what we saw with GMT, this big push down. We're seeing it also here with EGLD, just something to keep your mind on. Phantom, showing a bit of strength relative to Bitcoin's price action, as is CHR, as is LRC. And we can see these big spikes tend to reverse. So they do one and they do the other side. So just be aware of that. What's happening to Atom? Atom is just coming down now. It has a similar kind of pattern. It's not holding up quite as well as some of the other cryptos. Let's have a look at some more community favorites. Stellar. We can see Stellar just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, but we see strength in there. That's fantastic. CRV just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Sometimes it goes in phase and sometimes it comes out of phase, but we've seen basically moving in alignment. And what do we see with AVAX? Selling off as well, coming down to that particular spike. The more cryptos you look at, the better you're going to get at your pattern recognition. It's a really, really important skill. What do we see with Arweave? Arweave is looking pretty good in respect to Bitcoin's gravity. Zilliqa just pretty much smack bang on Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. Uniswap doing better, showing a little bit of strength here. And we can see FTT selling down. We can see that some of these cryptos have revisited that 12th of May low, and this is really interesting. We keep our eye on these kind of things. And what do you see with Tron? Tron has been bolting up. What data supports that? I actually gave this clue away in previous things that we've looked at in this episode. Please let me know what it is in the comments. This is really great detective work for you to do. There's a lot of fear being spread inside the crypto market right now. People are talking about panic and capitulation and all sorts of things. If you can possibly get off this emotional roller coaster, it's really important to do for your health and health reasons. Stress is a killer, and the more stress you have, the less fitness and health you have. So please come across to smart money thinking, zone 3 and zone 4 thinking. In zone 1 and zone 2, the panic zone and the blame zone, there's a lot of anger between internally and externally. And this is all based on the concept that people want certainty, but certainty inside any financial market will lead to terror. If you find yourself lashing out at other people, it's maybe a good idea to just step back and think, what can I learn from this? Because learning will take you into the probability sections and the mastering of fear sections. This is really important. Zone 1 and Zone 2 lose your money. Zone 3 makes your money. And Zone 4 keeps your money. And it's really important to keep what you earn. Always remembering Rule 570, psychology sets profitability. Many people in the crypto space have gone through tough times recently, and it's really nice to remember you are who you are because of the tough times, not the easy ones. The easy ones soften, the tough times harden, and you can think of yourself as a diamond getting forged. And life is always waiting for you to be ready for abundance, but to get there, get out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 as quickly as you can. How do you know you're in Zone 2 or Zone 1? If you're attacking other people, if you're unkind to yourself, you're in or below Zone 3. You want to get to Zone 3 as quickly as you possibly can. Why? Because our time on this world is limited. You don't want to be wasting it. You want to be living it. You want to be happy. That's what it's all about. And there is no happiness to be found inside conflict. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students, and of course a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use, and you can get 20% off by that link. And if you click the link on the masterclass, you can reach out to an ambassador and get 80% off, but please click this link in the description. And you can always reach out to me at any time and directly message me on Twitter as well. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.